Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is Bird Dog John, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios,
Yep.
it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat, and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? You're just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. Feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro. What's happening, everybody? Well, we are going to attempt to be back in the studio today, even though there is high potential for my internet to cut out. So, yeah, that's happening, and I can hear myself on my phone. So you guys tell me how things sound. I'm gonna get the party started here with the playlist. But what's going on, Angus? Good morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out. Always appreciate that. And of course, I have not been diligent with preparing for the show necessarily the way that one would think. And so I have, what? Oh, weird. I have yet to even get my second monitor turned on, apparently. Is this TV off? I be heard now? How's it going? Oh, that sounds wrong. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Oh. This is going to be a quiet show, everybody. Quiet show. Yeah, and that's 1 week and it all falls apart. That's absolutely the truth. All right, let me try something here. This probably isn't going to work. Check, check, check. Okay, what about this one? Still have really poor connection. But is the audio better? The audio does seem to be better. Definitely can't hear anything coherent enough to follow. That's just what I was thinking. More like 144. Hey, the audio has been improved. That's better all around. Fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Okay, so do you know what I did? I still have a very weak signal. Let me just IP config this system here real quick. Let's do this. IP config all. Oh, that's fascinating. I changed my DNS. So I am convinced. We'll see how this goes because my video is still crapping out, but my audio is still coming through. Ah, jeez. Yeah, this is rough, guys. This is rough. So I've been having issues with Comcast the past few days, and I've been trying basically everything I can think of to fix it on our end. Jeez, it's all digitized. I can hear it on my phone. I'm listening to it kind of on the back end. Yikes. Dang it. That wasn't it. Whoa. Um, I just had a network drop. Oh, I'm totally gone here. Oh, shoot. I drop low again. Another drop. How is that even possible? It's all right. Give me a second here. 1 second. Can you tether this to your phone even if it's just on the shop Wi-Fi? So this computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi card in it. This connection's much better for some reason. For some reason, I'm not entirely sure why. Other than I just restarted Chrome entirely. But I'm not convinced that that's going to fix it, obviously, because that's you suddenly came back all smooth. All smooth. The sultry tones of Bird Dog John. All right, let's go back to this and kill the playlist so that we can kind of get some idea. Hey, now that connection is perfect. This is not on my phone, though. This is still on the same network, but I restarted Chrome, so whatever that was, no guarantee that this is going to work either because it's been kind of like ramping up and slowing down all morning. And I've recently changed the DNS on the actual router itself. I am convinced still, those sweet NPR tunes, I'm still convinced that I'm dropping frames. I can see the frames dropping in here. That there is an issue with the Comcast DNS or our internet service provider, which is supposed to be Comcast, but you know how they sub it out. That there's an issue with the service provider, and so I'm waiting for it to fail again, essentially. But hey, hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for coming along today. All good. Hopefully we unbroke it permanently, but unlikely. If I do check my IP, and I just I see like, whoops. You know, I have basically forced it to go to a specific DNS server, and I'm hoping that that at least creates a little bit of consistency. But anyways, we shall see. But I'm not hotspotting. I am purely on my the same network that I was before. Let's do something early on here in the show. I want to run Snacks on stream just because Bird Dog Brayton has dropped off yet another Dearborn sausage package, and I want to get into this before the show dies again. So let's do that quickly, and then we will get into whatever it is that we're going to get into today.
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience. Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, God, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Yep. Time for Snacks on stream, and today we have a pretty great option. Let me just brighten this shot here, though, quickly, because it is a little dim. We were doing some stuff in here yesterday, recording some things for HQ, and one of my lights isn't on. That probably is That's probably a big part of it, eh? So let's fix that. All right, let's see what that looks like first. Before I touch anything else in this. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, so today we are trying Dearborn brand jalapeno mini sticks smoked sausage. Now, he left a lot of them in here, so I don't know if he's expecting me to eat all of these. But those certainly look really good. So we're going to get into that today and enjoy that a little bit while we answer your NDI questions, hoping that the internet holds out. So there you go. That is today's plan. Hey, don't make any sudden movements. Maybe T-Rex vision was based on slow internet. Great Jurassic Park reference, by the way. And I can do you one better as well.
You didn't say the magic word.
Ooh, those look tasty. No, save some for us, please. Oh, I thought you handed some out. I thought you were like challenging me to finish these off. Should I be nervous about this? Ooh, those smell good. All right, so here we go. Jalapeno mini sticks smoked sausages from Dearborn. Literally Dearborn, Michigan. Two links is a single serving at 120 calories with 6 grams of protein. So it's a little higher, but not too bad. Low carbs. Yeah, those are really good. It's not a jalapeno burn though. It's something else. I think 2 links are really the size of 1 link. But good stuff. They are very good. Okay, well, thanks for coming along the show, everybody. I got into snacks on stream early because I really wanted to try these. And I know Brayton wants to get back to his job, so eat these early and give my impression. There is a small burn. Ooh, I should also tell you, yesterday, I am fortunate enough to work very close with my wife, who also works in the same town as I do. And she has a job that she works up until about lunchtime, and then she has a part-time job. She works in the afternoons. And so, technically, I guess they're both part-time jobs. But yeah, so we met up for lunch, and that was great. And my feed just dropped for some random reason. But anyways, yesterday we met up for lunch, and we went over to a, it's called Carnival Market. It's basically Mexican-style food, and it was great. Oh, yep. Internet's starting to drop off here. So, hang on, everybody. Anyway, went over there and got tamales yesterday. Oh man, and they have like a salsa bar that you can use. And yeah, it was amazing. So good. So, that's definitely going to be a part of my regular routine. Heading over there and ordering. You can get like 3 tamales and rice and beans for like $10. And then you pick your salsa. And they had some hot salsa, but I think it was American hot salsa, not Mexican hot salsa, because I was expecting to get hurt, and none of their hot salsas really like put me to the test. These sausage links, in light of that conversation, are kind of like a mild medium level. So if you're nervous about something that says jalapeno, just know that most manufacturers are not creating their products to hurt the general public, because they want to sell lots of them, right? So they call them hot, but they're not really. These are at best a medium, but really good. Really good. So Caucasian spicy then? Maybe. So I think the first problem started when I loaded this "Where Are You From" map, and everything freaked out. So I'll throw this up here. Looks like my internet is still struggle bussin'. Today is the 24th, and so somebody has already jumped on that. Oh, hang on though. Why isn't it? That's strange. The Oh. Maybe like this? Nope. Uh-oh. There it is. There it is. Okay, cool. All right. For some reason, it wasn't showing. It wasn't refreshing, but I believe the dots have now shown up. So there we are. And yeah, hey everybody. So always nice to have you guys check in. Angus, of course, over in Edmonton, and mystery friend in San Jose. So that's really neat.
That's pretty neat.
So yeah, the QR code that goes up on this screen here is a way to participate in this map, and it's just a way to find out where people are, you know. And so if you are so inclined, it's a 2-question survey. Scan that QR code, and you can fill out what country and what city are you closest to, and it'll show up. Always good to know where people are from. And if you need me to put up that overlay, just ask, and I'll keep an eye on the chat and go from there. Okay, I'm going to eat one more of these, and then I'm going to save the rest for my coworkers as per Bird Dog Brayton's request. So I will zip the bag. The nutritional facts on this are great, actually. 9 grams of fat, 20 milligrams of cholesterol. This is for 2 links, by the way. 1 gram carbohydrates, 0 sugar, and 6 grams of protein at 120 calories. So that's pretty good. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, network is holding out. When I changed the DNS, now the network's holding out. So I wonder if that has something to do with all this, right? It's always DNS, and it's never DNS. But yeah, wow, these are great. Brayton, did you get these at Valero? Because I was just up that way the other day. In the wrong tube. I was just up there that way the other day and thought about stopping in, but I had both my kids, so I didn't. Of course. There you go. There you go. All right. So feel free to play along if you'd like. You can scan that QR code and put your pin on the map. Always happy to have you guys follow along, and we'll show that in a few minutes. So yeah, network issues, internet issues, really. And I suspect there's a problem with the DNS on the ISP side, because things substantially improved when I moved things over to the Google DNS, which is 8888 or 8844. Now, NetHab, whose DNS is 1111? Who's that? The internet's fastest privacy first DNS resolver. Really? Really? It's Cloudflare's, apparently, in partnership with APNIC. And what was the other one you said you used? 9999. Okay. Fascinating. I use 1113, and so what's the advantage of using that over the Google public DNS? Because Google seems to resolve pretty quick. I don't have too many issues with it. But yeah. And it actually seems to be working. Like, it kind of stabilized the stream here. So that change, unless I'm just lucky and the internet's restored while my show is going on. But it has been a roller coaster for a lot of things. Tracking and malicious filtering. All right. I am willing to be persuaded. So is it anonymous based tracking, like help in that regard, or what? Because, you know, we can set our, actually, and that's a great question. I'm going to get off the show here for a minute. The question I have is, I can change the DNS. It is currently set to custom. So do you use 1113 or 1111 as your primary? Or what do you do there? I mean, there are lots of services out there for those of you who are like wondering what the heck we're talking about. There are lots of services out there that obviously provide like ad blocking and do a bunch of things, right? And so, oh, nice. They have black holes web services that track user data. Okay. I like it. I like that idea. But ad blocking and also like filtering for inappropriate content or whatever you don't want on your business network. So I'm all about that. I love that stuff. I love the little like Pi-hole invention. You can run your own little filtering service on Raspberry Pi, essentially. And so I've done that in the past where, protect networks and that sort of just kind of basic stuff. But you can upload filtering lists and all that. So this is an intriguing idea. So far, things are kind of stable. I think the video looks odd, but the audio hasn't given out on me yet, which is something that, like, I feel like the video looks like it's dropping frames on YouTube, and maybe it's that my quality isn't high enough. So I don't know, or like it's almost like it's struggle busting with the 30 frames, but I'm not too sure what to make of that. When I move my hands on the screen, they look like it's losing frames, even at a higher bit rate. So I wonder if we're still having issues. Yeah, it's just not like super smooth. I wonder if I'm still having issues. Video gets frame droppy if you move too fast. Pi-hole is great. I have it running with a bunch of other services on an old Core i5 machine. I use Cloudflare's malicious and adult filtering as my primary and 9999 as alternate. Looked up from 2 Pi-hole servers. Oh, right on. Very cool. Yeah, Pi-hole is like way more well used than you think it is. A lot of people are using it, so it's really fun to like figure that stuff out. And that was a fun little project. Like one evening, you can just kind of get a little Raspberry Pi and set it up as your redirect. Saved me many times from possible bad URLs. Nice. Well then, maybe that's the answer. Maybe I should not trust my ISP to resolve my DNS, because evidently that's what's going on here. And now the frame drops could be multiple things. Yeah, it could definitely be multiple things. It looks smooth in StreamYard, which is hosted on Chrome, and I see all the frames. So it appears to me that when it goes up to the YouTubes, I'm losing some data to maintain the stream integrity. So I'll try to go over to the YouTube link, which now it's struggling to resolve. Interesting. So let's go to YouTube. Okay, YouTube's loading, and my video's here. But yeah, definitely losing frames for sure, 100%. So that is fascinating. Yeah, something's up. As if that connection is not. Wonder what StreamYard does here. If it like figures out what the streaming like maximum is to start, and then it never changes it. Interesting. Audio, video. Oh, and there we're internet quality now. So yep, and I'm dropping frames. Fun. I'm watching the show over my Wi-Fi. Yep. Wonder what is going on here. Audio is all robot. Agreed. That's whoops. Jeez. Yeah, this is brutal. Sorry, everybody. Not cool. Not cool. It's kind of getting through, but it's not kind of getting through. You know what I mean? It all shows up in StreamYard still. Clearly, there are issues getting out to the internet. Crystal clear 60 seconds ago. Yep. One second. Let me try something here. The internet is still pulling up stuff, which is crazy. Everything's still functional. All right, let's see. Okay, that did nothing. One more second. I'm gonna probably drop here for a minute. Just give me a minute. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, so this is clearly outside of my control. So I just reset all of my network settings, everything, and still doing it. So there's got to be an internet service provider issue. Let me try this last trick of redoing StreamYard. Give me a second here. Check. All right, testing 1, 2. Let's see what this does. Hey, everybody. So crazy. Something is up here because this should not fix it. What's fixing it is loading StreamYard again in Chrome and then starting over, basically. So the audio's clean again, right? But, hi, Dr. Nick. Where is it? That's in here, too. There it is.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
It's much smoother now. Yeah, this is so bizarre to me that cleaned it up. It shouldn't. It shouldn't do that. It's like some web pages are losing their integrity or something, where it's like, man, that's annoying. Very, very annoying. I'm not too sure what to think about that. We'll throw up the heat map here while we're fumbling through internet issues. So toss it out there, folks. What do you think it is? Because I can't make heads or tails of it. I need to kind of keep listening to this stream, though, to find out when it crashes. But, like, yeah, just random internet, like, brownouts is the phrase that was used earlier today in the office, where, yeah, they just stops working correctly. And we've been having this issue. This is what happened when I did my show at home on Thursday. And it was super late on Thursday because I didn't start it until like 12:15 or 12:30. But, yeah, this is crazy that I'm having this level of issues, mostly because to fix it, you just open another tab in Chrome, relog into StreamYard, add your stream again, like add your connection again, and then it's fine. But like after a while of being here, it's gonna go poorly and then it never recovers. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know why we keep having malfunctions. Thankfully, I have a Be Right Back slide that from the good old days. I did ask my marketing department if they could think of they could throw it together for me. But yeah, could be routing issues to StreamYard. Let's see, StreamYard down right now. Let's see if there's any sort of like reports. StreamYard statuses. It's not resolving that website, that's for sure. Setting up your stream, frequently asked questions. Yes, status.streamyard.com is not resolving. So, man, I don't know what I don't know what is going on here, but it is a mess. Curious if I can get into my I obviously don't want to change any of the network settings right now while I'm live on the show, but it's definitely something's up. Sounds like a StreamYard issue. Yeah, but it's happening more than that. Like it's happening more than just with StreamYard. So, because it like the whole internet picks up and then it seems like then it quiets down. Let's just try and keep up here with the stream. If you trace route to StreamYard, you might find that you're being sent through Mexico or something. Be right back. Technical issues. You should have a bird dog pecking at a cable. That's a great idea. I love that. Yes, I should figure out that animation. This would be a good excuse to get into InDesign and try my hand at something like that. So let's see if I can figure out the trace route. Again, it's like websites and stuff. I'm using DuckDuckGo, and it seems to come up, but full packets or to a domain. StreamYard. Whoops. No. Trace route. If your internet service provider is having issues, they could be shifting you around to different off ramps to their network. That is definitely what it feels like. It feels like every 20 minutes we get changed. And it's really annoying. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. It gave me the IPv6 path. Interesting. Oh. Wait a minute. I'm going out IPv6 right now? Maybe the IPv4 gave up. Ping an IPv4 address. Here we go. Let's try it. Let's force IPv4 and see what happens. Okay, here we are. Connected to... Sent and received, 0% loss. I'll run it if we fail again, I'll run it right then. Find out if I'm losing packets to StreamYard or if I'm just losing packets in general. Because it's rock solid now, right? So, man, what a mess. The issue is I reached out to Comcast this morning to see if there was anything reported. And of course, they're like, well, we did some work last week in your area, so restart your router. So I restarted the router, and then like, well, power cycle the router. And so I did that. And then it's like, well, we're having issues communicating with your modem. So maybe turn it off and back on again. I'm like, is that your only thing that you can do is power cycle the thing? Because that is not clearing up the issue. We're continually having network and internet problems. So anyway, so far, it's going well. You should be able to see some of the city names or acronyms for the trace route to deduce where it's routing you to. That, unfortunately, I don't have on this site, I guess. So let's StreamYard trace route. Let's see what comes back. Would BirdDog Cloud help in this situation? Maybe send your camera over a local internet, generate graphics in the cloud? So no, cloud is not unless you're using a VM or something in the cloud, but a lot of people do like vMix in the cloud, right? And so then that would help because you could bring cloud sources into your vMix virtual machine and switch in the cloud, which is super helpful, but that's not necessarily what's going on in this instance because I don't have vMix in the cloud. I have vMix locally. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to send a signal up to cloud anywhere. The issue is me getting out of this building, I think. So my internet in general. So, but yeah, I don't think, I don't think that's my problem right now because, yeah, that's not the issue. But anyways, trying not to stutter because then it sounds like I'm skipping frames. And I don't want to do that. So yoink. Good stuff. Hey, you're trace arting from your command line, right? I can. It's still kicking back the IPv4. So how do I force it over to, oh, there. So going through Auburn Hills, Michigan, Comcast.net, Pontiac, Michigan. Wow, it does not know where that one is. Anonymous location. And no request timed out. That's fun. What about this one? Whoops. Another IPv6 address. interesting that this is operating over IPv6 right now. And again, doesn't really give me any of the acronyms, though. Am I doing that wrong? Whoa, here we go. Lose, wait times, trace art, round trip path, force using. Okay, so -4 is to force it with IPv4. So let's do that. Let's kill this because this is cute and all, but I don't care about that. Trace art. There we go. Over IPv4. Okay, my local gateway pinged their Pontiac, or I'm sorry, Auburn Hills, Pontiac, and then resolve. So it doesn't actually tell me that it is going anywhere other than that. Specify a time. Specify max hops and targets. Prevents from resolving. Command examples. Yeah, so it doesn't really give me too much, but it's all good. All right, let's do this command line, that ns lookup. Where did that go? ns lookup set. Okay. So yeah. This resolved. I mean, it resolved the IP address. It certainly doesn't give me a location as to when it gets out of Pontiac. It doesn't really tell me anything beyond that. But same information is fed back through the trace RT command. I mean, it's handy. I could show you guys what's going on here, I guess. Let me throw this over here. Well, that's a massive screen. Okay. So what I've done, there's a couple of things here. So I just went like straight up tracertstreamyard.com. It pinged back the actual IPv6 address and then spit this all out. That's curious. I wonder if it's switching between IPv6 and IPv4 and that's what's causing some irregularities because both of them are failing. What do you guys use specific IPv6 DNS options? Curious to know what you're doing there. So here's that spit out, and we still going through Auburn Hills, still going through Pontiac, and then it kind of times out, and then I just canceled this. But then this is the actual address that we're looking at with StreamYard, and so we got here again. So gateway, external, Auburn Hills, Pontiac, and then we've had, resolved onto their side as well. So that's that 172 address is theirs. It might skip a few, but eventually it'll come back with more names. Google DNS might default and prefer to IPv6 because it's Google. Ooh. Interesting. That's an interesting idea. Now, knock on wood, and not to say that this is a result, but it's been another 13 minutes and I have yet to have a failure in audio dropout, which I think is significant. And we're almost up against the 12 o'clock hour. We're approaching 10:50 right now. So all good. Yeah. So streaming, a big part of it is the ability to actually get out to the internet, right? So that's helpful to troubleshoot stuff like this. A lot of guys, like when we first started on, a lot of guys were, I'm connecting all my NDI sources to the hotel network. It's all hardlined. It's like you're trusting the hotel network to handle high performance video. So that really was a long time ago. That was pretty common stuff that would come into the support desk. I think we've moved away from that, like best practices. I think people are a bit more familiar now that, you want to travel with a network that you trust. But connecting to the internet has always been kind of a thing that you have to think through really well because you can't afford to be dropping frames while you're in the field. And today's a great example of that show. Now, look, I made network changes and then didn't restart this computer, so that's my own stupid fault. And then I made DNS changes and didn't restart it. I'm just basically trusting that we're able to kind of go forward. But does anybody use any preferences with IPv6 yet? So like Cloudflare's Cloudflare IPv6 DNS resolver is it simple? Because maybe I can add that, you know. Support for IPv6 only. Here it is right here. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay, so I'm still tempted to screw with my my network and see if I can't get this to be more stable. Perhaps because it's Google, you know, it's routing that way. And this might kill my stream, by the way, everybody. So, oh, for families, look at this. Family categorizes internet with opposed malware. Okay. So let's do that as well as the backup. That's fun. $10 says though that I do this and then it kills like Bird Dog Cloud. That would be hilarious. Okay. Is it going to die? That's the next question. So if I am still working, I'm still going. Let's go to command line and let's whoa. IP config all. Ugh. I think my keyboard is dying. Okay. IPv6, let's see here. Yep. Those servers are now listed. Just cool. Am I dropping? Nope, not dropping there. Have you ever looked at something like Speedify, which will split your feed over multiple connections? No, I have not done something like that. The redundancy, like for this show, I have not necessarily needed to, you know, really change a lot here, but whoops. This is really a new, oh yeah, my keyboard is totally dying. I'm going to power it off and power it back on again like a good IT guy. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. All right. Oh, now it works perfectly. Of course it does. Let's see if we can resolve this website. I'm still functional into StreamYard. So if I am functioning over Wi-Fi, if I am resolving over IPv6, that's worked out well. Okay, this website is called Quad9, the DNS configuration. So let's see what we have here. So maybe I could share this, I guess. That would make sense, right? Okay, this Quad9 is service address, recommended features, secure, unsecure, secured malware blocking, 99911, unsecured no malware blocking, 99910. And so what's the deal here? This is just the end of the IPv6. Is that what we're talking about? But this one is malware blocking, validation for DNS, most typical configuration. Interesting. Interesting. But it seems to me that we are kind of rock solid here in terms of the consistency. Let's share a different screen now. Present. Screen share. A window. Command prompt. Share that. Okay, so here, you know, if I say ipconfig, if you type in ipconfig, it's just going to give you the first initial stuff, right? Okay. So now if I do ipconfig -all, It gives you everything, including what DNS records you've put in, this is what's the most important here for me. So close. So when you are putting in those now they're in manually, right? I didn't configure them on the actual network yet, but they're sitting in there manually, and this has been pretty solid so far. So I'm wondering if they're resolving issues that way. Did that for a stream in an old church here in the UK, which only gave me like 1 meg upload. Use Speedify to bond 2 additional 4G connections. That's cool. I have to look into that because I don't know much about that. Speedify. I don't have multiple connections here in the office, but Speedify use all your internet connections all at the same time. But I should get a secondary service with like AT&T or Comcast competitor, because then you could combine both and always have uptime, regardless of who's having problems. Let's cut over here and take a quick look at the heat map. Thanks for everybody for playing along here today. This has been quite the show. We knew we were going to have internet problems, but we get to work through them in real time and take suggestions from the field. So that's always fun. Always fun to have folks come along and troubleshoot stuff. This is it in real world, guys. This is what we have to do when we stream stuff, and it's not ideal. Your internet service provider is having issues. Well, how do we make it stable again? Well, we can... most people probably wouldn't know. Most everyday users wouldn't know to go in and try different DNS resolvers. But that's one thing, that if you find that your websites aren't loading correctly, but they kind of load, or they're loading slowly, maybe a DNS issue, might be something local, or it might be something further on in the internet service provider, and you can actually redirect those requests away from there. So super, super handy to have that as an option. Let's just try something here. Well, you know what? I might be asking for it if I do that. So cancel this and cancel that. I'm going to do this afterwards, though. I should... Well, we'll figure that out another time. So feel free to hit me up in the chat if you are over on YouTube. Don't forget that birddogjohn.tv is the place to be when it comes to bird dog support. When I'm not having connection issues with the internet, it's where we talk about NDI and answer all those questions twice a week from 11 to 12 Eastern time right here in the U.S. And we like to be available in that way. Like I'm an actual person that works at Bird Dog in support, and that's what we do. So we do this all day long. I have several agents out in the office at all times when I'm on the show. So if I don't know the answer, but it's like something that you've seen reported or somebody said something on Facebook, I can easily consult with them live on the show and ask them what they know of the situation and kind of like get up to speed. So this is a great little resource for you to use when you either want to keep up with what's going on at Bird Dog or you have NDI questions. You can always find me twice a week at birddogjohn.tv. Right on YouTube, so 11 to 12 Eastern time. And if you missed the show, feel free to rewatch it. If you comment on the show, I definitely read the comments. Some people are not particularly constructive with their comments, and so I don't leave those on the videos. I do read all of the comments, but I don't necessarily just leave them up there because, people have their own ideas as to what this show should be, and that's great, but we don't necessarily let other people dictate what it is that we're going to do around here. My final comment on that is be sure you run a spell checker. Grammarly, it's a great little app that runs, or a great little extension that runs inside of Chrome. So be sure you check spell check, because it's really hard to take you serious when you have no punctuation and spelling is atrocious. So I'm certainly not going to leave that up on the YouTube video. I mean, I could, but people would not take your constructive criticism very seriously because you're getting some very basic words wrong. So feel free to leave a comment. By all means, tell me what you enjoyed. Tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what you didn't like. I mean, the dislike button is on there, and I see those stats as well. So feel free to tell me, hey, this was great or this wasn't great. I definitely read them. I look through all those comments, and I had to respond to ones that have questions. There was one question where a guy was talking about, hey, it would be great if you could talk about chroma key inside vMix, since I have a green background. And you all know my stance on that. For those of you who have been around the show long enough, you all know my stance on green screens because I've talked about it a lot. But it is a fair question, and I don't know too much about the chroma key options inside of vMix. And so maybe that is something that we explore a little bit more in coming days, that we could do something like a virtual set and figure out, what it is that we could do here. So I'm not too sure how this works. And if I just load in, we'll fumble through this on a different show, and one where I can pay attention to the chat as well. But hey, you were great. No feedback. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Again, always happy to take constructive feedback. But if you don't have constructive feedback, then you don't. So if I set this up, layer 1 sky, what? Okay, talent input needs to be P200, which is going to be down here. Nope. Talent, where is that feed? NDI bird. Oh, there it is. Okay, so talent A, reset position. This is bizarre. Okay, never mind. So let's close this because I'm clearly doing this wrong. Oh, wow, that's fun. Okay. So skyline, the midground. Oh. And it's like the window pane. Talent. Okay, so I think I'm wrapping my brain around this a little bit. So if we add an input and we say NDI and we pick the P200, which is this guy right. Where are you? This one. And we say, okay. All right, so now I got a different. Now I'm going to configure, whoops. Now I'm going to open settings here. And we're going to, I'm assuming color key this to green. And then can I filter that out? Ooh, I sure can. This is so weird. It's so weird. I don't like this. Oh, this is priceless, folks. This is fun. Good times. So now we go to more and we add virtual set, which I think is very weird. Virtual set. And we're gonna put me at a desk, I guess. And here I'm gonna say, I'm going to set this up. Oh, that's interesting. And talent, I'm going to say this will be the last input now, right? So it'll be up. And then can I make myself smaller? I feel like I'm humongous. There's got to be a way, though. There's definitely got to be a way. So I will make myself smaller here. Yes, position. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Camera. Where's the desk? The desk one. This one. Sorry, I'm. Oh, I think it just looks so cheesy. It's so cheesy. All right, let me get me positioned here. And my green bird is gone in this, so. Oh, it's so funny. Is there a better one that we can use? It needs to be just slightly closer than that. Can I edit this at all? No. So my microphone, it's not perfect. That's for sure. But we can put me on a virtual set, which I think is hilarious and does not look real to me at all. But hey, for slapping it together in 5 minutes, that's not too bad. It's not easy being green. Here's the thing is everybody knows that I'm not sitting with some random sky. What city is that? Is it just a random city? Hey, everybody, look at the beautiful skyline behind me. It's like, I don't have that budget. Seriously, don't have that budget. So look, this is what my show really looks like. And maybe I should change it, but like, I always think it looks so weird. It'd be great if you could share your screen as you're clicking around in vMix. Yeah. I wasn't entirely sure that I was going to be able to figure it out, but hey, the chroma key comes in handy for something like your map view. Stick you down in the corner without a background. Yeah, I guess. I mean, we can do that. I can change out because now because I've done that now, right? So let's go layers. I'll change out this to be the last one. Yoink. And then position me over there, I guess. Number 2. And this is like every gamer in the world, right? This is like every gamer in the world that they... Okay, so now let's see here. Yeah, there we go. So, hey everyone, check out that heat map. My green screen going on behind me. Oh, how cool is that? It's hard. Look, but you can't see it. If I cut back here, if I cut to this one, my bird dog, my green bird dog is also keyed out. So it's like I'm not really here. It's like I'm a robot. Like this shirt is just over a frame. It's kind of like some sort of Borg creature from Star Trek Next Generation. But yeah, the chroma key is here. Unfortunately, you can definitely tell where the edge of the screen is. So that's one thing I don't like about green screens is like especially if you're doing it wrong, then you look strange, I think. Personally, I think that. So this virtual set, are there other sets that we can choose from? I seriously just clicked on the first one. I also love this. Oh, wait, sorry. Again, if you have a microphone stand, that doesn't work, right? Because like, wait, where's the mic? Where does that go? It goes off the screen. That's where. So it doesn't really work. But yeah, I think that's very, very strange. Now you can change like mid-ground and I can turn off the mid-ground so that there's no, can I move that? I can move it around so it looks like look at that. Look at those computer graphics. So weird. Definitely move it around to pretend like I'm in some sort of studio. Oh, how fancy, Hoity-toity. You can also replace the skyline with any other input that you want. And then the desk is also, you can eliminate the desk or make it visible. So it's just so weird. I think it's just so strange that people love that sort of thing. I find it not to be, what do I say? I think it's hard to be taken seriously when you are in a virtual. Oh my gosh, some of these virtual sets. All right. So here's a second one that I will, this is, obviously I'm not in this one yet, So first thing is we need to add the talent to that. And so the talent allegedly is me. Maybe I need to zoom out on my P200 to make this look correct. So let's go P200. I want more of like like my full body. So let's change this position. And then let's zoom out. Oh, my computer screen is going to be in this shot. Come on, 200. I've got the motor speeds cranked up here. Okay, so unfortunately my computer screen is in the shot, which isn't particularly helpful there. Okay, now my positioning is wrong, obviously. So we can move, I believe I have to move this on the green screen version. So and I guess I need my shotgun microphone to do this properly. But main, we're going to sit me down here at the desk. So let's go yoink. There we go. All right, so now I'm at the desk. And I'm way off on the other one. But now I'm at the desk sitting there. If I didn't have the microphone, it's odd that I'm looking off into space, mind you. But now we can change screen 1. I'm going to have screen 1 as my P200. Oh, there you go. So obviously this breaks the look. The screen 1 edge. What is that? Forget that. Okay, screen 2. I'm going to have this as my desktop. And actually, you could do this for both of these, right? So we could do like my desktop screen here. And I'm going to eliminate my little face here. So layers, yoink. And then, so I've got my heat map up on the screens here. And then input 3, what should that be? Because who knows, right? So input 3, we could make this a video of some sort, and we could just mute the video. So let's see here. We are Bird Dog. Okay, so now it's just going to play that video while I'm sitting at my desk. Okay, and then now that I have all of this set up, there are different like camera angles, right? So we have this one. This is camera 1. And that's interesting how that works. And then camera 2 is like shot number 2. I don't care for how long this is taking. So let's do this and like move a little faster, please. So 2-second transition. This is camera 3. And then what's camera 4? Anything? So this is so weird because like, again, the microphone, I need to change the microphone in order for this to make sense. But if I'm going to sit at a news desk, here's the thing is like, are there any other, what is this? What is this? What are these buttons? So inside vMix, on the virtual set, there are 4 buttons. And F, M, S, and C. I'm not too sure what those are. Let's see. Oh, fast, medium, slow, and custom. Got it. Okay, so fast changes. Why are 3 and 4, or yeah, 3 and 4 are the same. Oh, you can do whatever you want with that? Oh. Interesting. So So if I do this, that changes it. So we go from position 3 to position 4. Hey, let's take a look at a heat map. Interesting. Okay. Very odd, everybody. All right, so I'm going to finish out the show then. Sitting here at my virtual desk. Oh, it's so funny. So funny. Wait, what? Okay, so you guys like blew up the chat when I went off there. Okay, it's handy. Kermit, it's not easy being green. Next step is to become a virtual tuber or PNG tuber. Aside from going out of the frame, that really works well. I think that's London behind you. Oh, I'm definitely nowhere near London if that's what that is. Input 3 top-down shot for snacks. Yes, a great idea. Ooh, so input 3. What's going on, NetHab? Let's see. That's a good idea. So input 3, set up screen 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I kind of want to be screen 2 because where is it here? P100. Because what I want is then to go to that shot, right? So then you guys can see what's going on here. There we go. Then you guys can see what I'm up to. I don't know. It kind of makes sense though to have them both the same on the left and right side, right? So maybe I do that for both, and I say screen 1 and screen 2 are both 100, and then when I'm doing snacks on stream, because then it's overhead the whole time, and I feel like that's weirdo. So what about? I kind of like the idea of. So this video fires every time that you put it on here. We are Bird Dog. So, yes, I mean, I guess in theory you could manipulate the, you could manipulate it a bit. But then you have all these stinking camera angles. So, that's funny. And then we could play the actual audio if you wanted. Oh, that's so funny. I just find virtual sets hilarious because I don't. So, yeah, well, okay, so here's a question then. Ooh, now we're going to get really, now we're going to start playing with this a bit and seeing what we can come up with. All right, so I'm from Toronto, and I would love to have the Toronto skyline in the background. So let's see what we can come up with here for that. Ooh, this is a good one. This is probably going to be like borderline copyright infringement, but let's see what we can do here. Remember earlier in the show we were having like network problems, and now we're not having any of those. What's up with that? So can I put this here? Ooh, I can. Okay, so add input, photos, browse, desktop. No pictures on the desktop? What's this? This is a photo. Get out of here. Photos to display. Oh, image. Image. Sorry, not photos. Image. Why is there... Anyway, whatever. Okay, so add as image. Say okay. Yoink, yoink. And make this full screen again. Hi, Laura. How are you? Thanks for coming along. Hey, I know not on topic. It's anything Bird Dog is on topic, all right? But is the P200 NDI controlled or VISC IP with the keyword? P200 is an NDI camera, so you should be using the NDI function on your Bird Dog keyboard to control the P200. And that is the intention of those products. VISC IP is fine. The cameras talk Sony VISC IP as well. But if you're buying a Bird Dog product, you're buying it for the NDI function. I mean, that's one of its primary key purposes. So you should have with the keyboard, you should have a proper NDI DHCP network. Your devices should be getting their own IP addresses from your DHCP router. If you want to run this in static, you have to run a discovery server. There's no way around that, okay? Because the metadata doesn't work correctly. You have to run it over discovery server. So DHCP is the easiest way to do this. Then you hit, if everything's getting a DHCP address on your network, then your MDNS is working correctly. Then you're going to hit search, dial to NDI IP. It'll say one of one cameras found. You click on that camera, LR direction knob, click on it. Make sure it says cam 1, go to exit out of all of the screens, call camera 1, and then you should be able to control it. It's deliciously tacky. I have used a virtual set with the bird dogs on the TriCaster for streams. It made a studio. It worked so well. I had a zoom in on the window and a person on the stage of a green screen. Oh, that's cool. And then I had our town in the background. It worked actually well. Didn't look too cheesy. Oh, there's an idea. Oh, there's an idea. Oh, there's an... Oh, Laura. Interesting. Okay, so if I change the skyline... Yes! That worked! So let's then just adjust here. That's great. That's great. Okay, so then the next question is maybe I should put Detroit in the background, right? Because we do live in Detroit after all. We live near Detroit. I don't actually live in Detroit. That would be not accurately. So Detroit City skyline for green screen. Now, the issue is that they always have the GM building in, and that's not really Detroit. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And a lot of these angles are taken from, like, obviously helicopters and not from, ooh, that's a nice one. From helicopters and not, so like the GM building is like, we're like looking down on it, which doesn't, there's nowhere in the city that you could take that picture or that you could possibly be working, which is what I'm annoyed by. Oh, this one's nice. All right, so Detroit City skyline, green screen. That one's not going to work because it was protected, which is fine. People can protect their work. But if you don't, I'm going to steal it. Oh, that's an interesting idea. That's like a panoramic one that you could use. I like this Toronto background. That's cool. But why am I sitting at a news desk? You know, like there's no need for me to be sitting at it. And many of these shots of Detroit are actually taken in Sarnia or Windsor. They're taken across the river in Windsor. And so again, these shots don't exist. I want like just regular schmegular Detroit, nothing fancy. I just need, okay. Let's go with this one because it's probably the most reasonable in terms of what it actually looks like out there. Okay, so back to vMix. We're going to say add input. We're going to say add image, and we're going to select it from the desktop. And Detroit is now in the shot. And then we're going to change the skyline to Detroit, which is now input 43. There is the Detroit skyline. And then we're just going to position this kind of in a place that looks reasonable. And yeah, there we go. It's almost like this is a night show in Detroit, right? Because it's got the, but yeah, there it is. There's the city. Now, I don't care for like the window pane thing, the mid-ground stuff. So if I turn that, oh, no, can't do that. Because that eliminates the floor. So what do we do here? What else is there? No, this is all. Okay, so we can move this around, get it positioned, I guess, correctly. There we go. All right. So that's so funny. I just find this so hilarious that people do this and that they run their shows this way. But hey, to each their own. You're not required to. I definitely think that it is a little like unbelievable. But then if you have a guest and you bring them into vMix, you could put them on all three screens, or at least the two on the sides, right? So that's super dorky, but still kind of fun. Still super silly. Super silly, everybody. Like ridiculously silly. But hey, then you go. You have some options if you want to use a green screen. There you go. I had our town in the background, so I could probably do that because there is a camera in the NDI realm that is looking outside right now. Unfortunately, it's looking in the wrong direction, and it's also likely to be used by people in this office. And so if I go P100 and yoink, and you can see the lens. So it's not necessarily going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work, I don't think, in this instance. But potentially, I guess we could give this a go. So Skyline, we want to change this now to yeah. So that's not really showing you any of the road out there. But hey, look, there's Auburn Hills, everybody. If I back it out, then this is just a P100 sitting in the sun. Oh boy. So, and I can't change the autofocus on this, so that's cool. But there you go. There's Auburn Hills right there. Although, can I point it at the sky? Would that work? Let's take a look. Let's see what this looks like. It's funny that you can see the whole, like, the grid of the screen here. But yikes. Yeah, see, the sun is right above the office right now, so that's not great. But it's a cool idea, for sure, to put that in there. I do like the Detroit skyline, and I do like the Toronto skyline a lot. Whoa. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong virtual set. Sorry. This one. Yeah, there we go. So I do like these two options. That's pretty cool. One moment, please.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. So yeah, silliness. Now, there are some virtual sets in here that are absolutely ridiculous. And I would have a hard time taking it serious. I really would. Some of them are interesting. And I don't necessarily dislike this one. So let's set this one up. All right, so here is yoink, the virtual set. Let's go ahead and ruin all of this again and change out subject talent A is supposed to be this one. And so that doesn't work. So we have to change it inside the source, right? So you got to like bring this in again every time you want to do a virtual set. So I could position me at least here. So can I there's no settings on this. That's interesting. Yoink. So not too sure what to do there. Skyline though, you could change this to whatever you want it to be. So Toronto in the background. And we're going to position that over here like this. And then up on the screen, the big screen, we're going to put, I don't like the big giant like 1990s computer monitor bulky frame on that thing, but we could always put my desktop option, I guess, so that you guys could see the virtual map. Oh, and I have this open. There we go. So now you can see the virtual map, and then you would need to move the position of your talent. So me, in that case, so I'm going to make myself a little bigger, and then I'm going to scooch myself over here like that. There we go. So yeah, there. Now we're sitting at a desk looking at my screen together. So there you go. That's and the boom stand goes off the screen, so that's not horrible. So this was not too bad. The screen, I don't understand what the edge is. I guess that's supposed to make it look like it's a television or something. But yeah, if we say screen 1, we could change this to whatever we want it to be, by the way. So we could run the video. And then or you know what I could do is have yeah, actually I don't know. Because I could run
making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Check.
Wish
Yeah,
me luck,
my
folks. It's
microphone's
my
still on.
first Vegemite.
So that's interesting. My overhead camera. I guess I could make this like video switchable, right? So that you could see various things, various inputs on this screen. But then I definitely need like a go-to. I don't really have one. Titles, all cams. Yeah, I don't really have. You can put the big QR code up there. What else do I got here? Yeah, that's about it. So I don't really have anything to put on a screen. So if that's the case, then I think I like this one better. But of course I changed the position of the camera, so now I got to fix that again. So now I'm got to be smaller, and I need to move myself over to the middle of the desk. And then, wait, maybe I could like be a little bigger, but then scoot up a bit, I guess. Maybe even go again, so that now I look like a giant in this studio. It's like a miniature set. If I stood up, my head would hit the my head would hit the ceiling. So let's put me down on the table here, and then scoot over. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, so there you go. That's how we play around with that. And if I just got a different microphone, then this thing wouldn't be in the way. But good times, everybody. Good times. Fun times on the set of the Bird Dog John show. And with Toronto in the background, actually, we could change the skyline. And I want that CN Tower to be prevalent, you know. And maybe we change it to Detroit. And that way you can see that perfectly positioned. Can we do this? Like, yeah. There we go. So there. Because, you know, if you're going to do cheesy, you might as well do cheesy. You might as well. And, yeah, we want to take a look at the screen here real quick, or you want to see both of them? You want to see my whole set? I definitely look odd in this position. I think I look a little bit better here. Maybe I'm a little too big. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? You guys tell me what you think. Live shot of Auburn Hills. You stay classy, San Diego. You can use your outdoor camera as your backdrop. We tried. Okay, I ran the firmware update, but it only took the firmware, not the NDI 5 version, which led me to believe that the camera is not NDI. What? What is the difference, or do both updates need to be done in sequence? Yes, the whole update process needs to be done. The camera is an NDI camera. That's why you bought it. The camera that's its primary feature, is NDI. It's full NDI. It's not NDI HX, that other protocol will say. But it's a full NDI camera, and that's the purpose of having that camera, is because you can control it over NDI. Everything is about the NDI function. So there is a firmware update on the system menu in the web UI that you need to do. It's a .fw file. And there's potentially a USB update, depending on what update you're doing. There's potentially a USB update as well. But the FW file is the firmware update file. So you'll need to do that for sure on the system menu. You could always put the PTZ facing your street as the background. Hey, your backdrop is giving me Anchorman vibes. There you go. So with the DHCP, you have to set your sources each time you start OBS or vMix because your IP addresses may change. I'm going to research the Discovery server. Well, no, the IP addresses aren't going to change unless you have like hundreds of people joining your IP network, right? But the way around it is, say it with me now, everybody, DHCP reservation list. Inside the DHCP, there's a way of matching the MAC addresses to the IP addresses that you want, and then those addresses are reserved, essentially, for those MAC addresses that you have listed. But IP addresses in modern-day routers, good ones at least, don't change unless the lease is expired and other devices are requesting IP addresses while the device is offline. Like a good DHCP, for example, say you have like 20 devices, right? They're all joining your network. Shouldn't be Wi-Fi. It should just be network. So you're plugging in laptops and whatever. Well, you typically have a pool of about 200 IP addresses in a WAC24 255.255.255.0 network. And so if you plug in 20 devices, they're going to get IP addresses 2 through 21, essentially, because, IP address 1 is going to be taken by your router or by your gateway. So when you are connecting your devices, you connect your 3 cameras and a keyboard, well, they're going to get addresses like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when you disconnect them and use your network and then you plug them back in, they should still get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because you haven't used up the lease pool. And a good DHCP router, one that is worth its, like a real one, okay? Crappy ones will just constantly flush their cache, but a good one will remember a MAC address that was on the network a few weeks ago and reassign it the same IP address that it had. So the DHCP reservation list guarantees that it will always get the same IP address and there will always be one available for that MAC address. But in a proper NDI network, you're not going to have hundreds of devices coming and going off of the subnet. It should just be your NDI functions. And so a DHCP running an NDI network will never need to reuse the IP addresses because you're not going to run out of IPs, essentially. Hey, there you go. That was fun. Hey, on virtual sets, I've seen it where they set up an actual set and then film just the set, and then you could use like the virtual background for repeating stream without needing to set up the actual set. Yeah, I mean, one of the issues I have with this is the proportions are always like kind of off, right? And obviously, like this thing runs off the screen, so that's weird. But the proportions are always kind of off with virtual sets, and so I find them a little like hard to believe. And you're looking at a video, like you're looking for real things. I think the purpose of interacting with a video is because you're looking for like an actual real experience. So that's my deal here. And it's hard for me then I'm looking at my screen, and so it's hard for me to remember to always look inside the screen to look at you. So anyways, I just think it's a little bit strange. That's all. It's okay. And some people really like them, and some people don't. Hey, I love the reflections of your virtual light. No, it does. Yeah, I noticed that. That's good stuff. Feed it from a mix. Hey, talking of NDI HX, do you know anything about the X120 release? Really looking forward to playing with them. Well, you may have noticed that the X120 firmware is on the website, but that's all I know. I haven't been briefed on when its launch will be, so that's all I have. I have an entire school system. Okay, yes, I can do reservations on the server. Yes, so reservations then is going to be your answer, but again, high-performance NDI video really wants its own subnet. You should VLAN that off and then run its own DHCP inside that VLAN. That's how it should properly be done, because you're going to have a lot of data fighting for the processors on the switches. And so you want to VLAN it off, and so that it's isolated, has its own range, has its own ports on the switches. You don't want to just add it to the mix. You want to VLAN those ports off properly. I would love a Millennium Falcon's virtual set for Star Wars Day. It can be done. It should be done. Absolutely. I have the solution. Film in front of a Bird Dog video wall like Star Wars. There you go. Done and done. I did the USB MICU update and then tried the NDI5 update. It told me that I needed to use the firmware. Yeah. Which I did not found no further instructions. So I need to run the NDI. So the firmware file is a .fw file, and you need to load that into the system update folder. Okay, so you go to System tab, System Update, load the .fw file. What it sounds like is you may have loaded the .bin file or the zip file. Those are not update files. Inside the zip folder is a .fw file. You'll get that error. It'll say, this is not a, what did you say here? I did the MICU update and then I tried the NDI5 update, but it told me that it needed to use an FW file. Yeah. So you need to look for the .fw file inside the folder. What camera did you say this was? P200. Yeah, when you're going to NDI5, it should only be a two-parter. It should be a USB update, maybe, but definitely a .fw file. So be sure that you get the right FW file and not like the .zip or something, because that's the folder that contains all of the files that you need. But the MICU update is a .bin, B-I-N, and the FW file is the firmware upload for the system update file. So the MICU is the .bin file, and then the firmware is the .fw file. Those are the two files you need to do the update correctly. It took the FW file. What took the FW file? The system update? It should have. That's the NDI5 update. And then it should give you a script. It should show you like a Linux output script saying what it's doing and giving you kind of like real-time feedback. Who knew that today? Okay, so I think I'm too big behind this desk. What do you guys think? So I'm going to make my picture a little smaller. So let's go here. And then pan down. No, now I look too small. And then up. Is that what I would? Yeah. So, and I can't wear green, obviously. So I can't wear greens because you're going to see right through it. Yeah, this is hilarious. Hilarious. And then you can really screw up the key filter here. See? So this is my actual camera shot. And then I color picked the green. And then I selected chrome key filter. So that killed all the green in there. Although, can I just... Okay, so then you have to kill all the green. And then you slowly draw it out of the shot. Yoink. But don't let, there's like a sweet spot, right? And, oh, I can see it too. Just to the point where the whole background disappears. But, oh, and then you can eliminate like, wait. You can pull out colors? That's strange. Chroma key. What's the story here? Hang on. What does this slider do? This slider does nothing. This is the one that takes it out of the shot. Yeah, this is bizarre. Ooh, there's a Luma key. Key and fill inputs. You can really go crazy with this. Anyway. So there you go. I still look... See, here's the problem with this is I still feel like I look disproportional to the screen. And the other problem is that my hands are on the desk, but they're not on the desk. And so I have to make them look like they're in my lap or like put them on my stomach or something. Yeah, virtual sets. They're strange. Strange cookies, those. And this, now I look like I'm a monster on this set. I just don't find this particularly convincing. I don't mind the close-up. This is okay. I still look off. I still look weird. Maybe Okay, maybe the camera needs to come down. So let's go studio monitor. Maybe I'm too short, like I'm like sitting behind the desk. P200 camera. And let's just come down just a smidge so that I fill. Whoa, whoa. Okay. And look, there's like some green behind me. What's that? It's like a reflection on the wall almost. So I probably need to key that out a bit more. So, but again, I don't know. I feel like this looks weird. And then if I go out to the full view, now I'm a monster. I'm huge. Look how enormous I am. Okay, so now the next question is, what if I zoom out a little bit? Ooh, if I zoom out, it gives me more data as to what's going on in this shot. So if I back out now. Oh, now you can see my desk. Oh, that's funny. So there, that's as far out as I can go, I think, on this shot. And then if I put my hand up here, does it look like it's on the desk? Yeah, kind of. Let's go back in for a close-up. You can still see some of the green now in the from the lights because they're up against that wall. So what do? Well, we can manipulate this key a little more. See if we can't take that out. There, we took it out. What else is on this? Oh, these are like my things on my desk. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, that's something. This is very weird, folks, to be pretending to be on a virtual set here in Bird Dog Lands. Hey, what is this? A desk for ants? Do you need to be a bit brighter to match the brightness of the table? No, I don't think so. Hey, I just got here watching on my phone, so I can't scan that QR code. Oh, that's a shame, Randy. Are people still doing that? Let's go over to this one. And yeah, this is where everybody's checking in from these days. That's pretty fun that you guys are here. Let me, I guess that's Randy asking for the direct link, is it? Is that what that is? So shorten URL. Let's copy that. And then I'll dump it in all of the chats that can accept it. So there you go. And we'll put up overlay number 3 as well, just for fun. So there is the a QR code. And one of the things, I guess what I can do here now is we can change out the, whoops, not the skyline. We can change out number 3 for my desktop view. You guys can see where you all checking in from. It's not very big, that's for sure. But it is here. We can move it around even. You can see all this stuff. Look at that. You can pop it out from the desk. There won't be anybody up here, so we can put this basically like that. There. I like that. There you go. So if you put your little pin on the heat map here, and I'll throw this up on the screen one more time. Yeah, it should appear there in real time. Just a few seconds delay. Wow, how did we actually make this go 2 hours? Now that the internet stuff seems to have resolved, like all my internet woes that I was having earlier. Now it's running great. And you guys didn't know that this was going to be a virtual set show after all this. After me complaining so much about virtual sets and how much I don't like them. You know, there you go. So, always fun to have you guys along. And I don't feel like I look like I'm the correct size to be sitting at this desk. I think actually this one is the most like reasonable. But the thing about virtual sets that I don't like is I feel like they're a little off-putting. I feel like there's no way that you have the money and the budget to have a Bird Dog support show with a glass theater, like studio like this with all these lights, and I look like I feel like my size is wrong. Like whoa, that was weird. My hand disappeared. Look at that. like a chunk out of my hand because it's green because anyway, I just feel like I don't look proportionately correct. I feel like that. And so it's always just a little kind of like, wait, what's wrong with this shot? You know, like, why does he look a little bit weird? But then, so I thought I looked too small there. But then if I change the angle here, now I feel like I look too big. I just look unproportionately large. So you can't win. You can't win with this stuff, man. Okay, folks. Well, I am coming up on 2 hours, and I do want to call it a day. So, reporting live from the Bird Dog John studios here in beautiful Detroit, Michigan, Auburn Hills. Thanks for coming along today as we played around with whatever this virtual set is. You look proportional. You need 2 co-hosts. Like, I need 3 people in on this show? Oh, man. I don't think I can moderate that much conversation. I'm an introvert at heart, so you'd never know. Also, +1 for Cloudflare DNS and, yeah, Quad 9 DNS. Now, I didn't change the overall service. I will do that after the show. But, yeah, this computer seems to be resolving just fine to those. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. The show... Also, let me see if I can make this full screen. I mean, the show on my phone looks pretty funny, so I love that I have a virtual that I'm virtually on some sort of set. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. But we're gonna go back now to the real deal. This is the real show. The whole This is what the support show is supposed to be. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. It's been fun. I love hanging out with you guys, and you break up my day, so I have a little extra something to look forward to all the time with you guys hanging around, and it's always a pleasure. Be sure to join us a couple of times a week from Tuesday, Thursdays from 11 to 12 at least, and hopefully my internet woes are behind me. If they are, then we will do these shows from this office twice a week from here on in. There are holidays coming up in November here at the U.S. office. So the 23rd, we won't have a show because that's a Thanksgiving break. And then, of course, we're into holidays and Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that at a later date. But for now, we should plan to be together again next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time right here in the U.S. Right at birddogjohn.tv. If you haven't done so already, jump over there and hit that subscribe button. That helps me out greatly. That channel is growing like crazy in the past 6 months, and so I really appreciate it. Anything I make here and I post up there again, like as like helpful tips, is going to be there. On Thursday, I am going to do then a virtual set show. I'm going to show you how I did all of this. We're going to start over from scratch, and we will talk about how to put that together in vMix, at least how I'm putting it together. And then we're going to go to the comment section, and you're going to tell me how I should have done it. So join me on Thursday. We're going to go through all of that. I'll walk through how it is that I was able to do this business directly in vMix. vMix has some virtual sets, and so that's kind of helpful. But yeah. If you want to know how I did that, we'll do that here. Man, this X keys is falling apart. All right, so we'll plan to do that together. That'll be fun, and I'll be able to show you a little bit more about that. So join me on Thursday at 11 o'clock. That's what we're going to do coming up. In the meantime, though, take care of yourselves, everybody. It has been a blast to be with you, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's fumbling through discovering virtual sets. But yeah, it's been fun to be together, and we will do it again on Thursday. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll chat soon. Bye.
news, everyone!
This is magnificent.
Oh yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.